given a talk together. People have really been thinking about going into space for hundreds of years. If you remember Jules Verne way back in the 1800s and how he went up in a capsule, and well, actually it was a shell of some sort out of a gun. When World War II was over, we learned a lot more about what the Germans were doing with the V-2 rocket. Actually, back here in the United States, way back in 1926, Dr. Robert Goddard had built his first liquid fuel rocket, and then during the 30s experimented with rockets out of Roswell, New Mexico. And then eventually, as we got into building war machines, war rockets, people started thinking about, actually, could we put somebody in space? Would that be something to be done? And as the time went on and the 40s became into the 50s, they got to be more and more serious about just how to do it. And finally, in Washington, at about the same time that I had just finished test pilot school, things happened. The old National Advisory Committee on Aeronautics suddenly changed their name to the National Air and Space Administration. And there were rumors around that they were thinking about putting somebody in space in a capsule on top of an IBM, ICBM, I should say, and see if they could go into Earth orbit. Actually, they were very serious. This was Project Mercury. The vehicle was a Mercury capsule. The booster was an Atlas vehicle, which at that time were blowing up every other day down in Florida. But they wanted to know, from a crew member's point of view, what kind of people should we put as crew members? Well, there were a lot of suggestions about what kind of people should be there. Some people thought stuntmen would be a good group of people. Other people also have the idea of having just double amputees because it would save a lot of weight. But it was President Eisenhower that told NASA, why don't you take military test pilots? They're used to, testing unusual aerial vehicles, and they have classified security commitments, so they are okay. And so NASA then asked the Air Force and the Navy to give them the names of people, test pilots, that had these criteria.